As a varsity lacrosse coach for 12 years, I know firsthand how important box lacrosse is for the player and his field knowledge. Being part of this organization is not just an honor to us, but a cause much bigger than all of us. The great men that started this program knew the only way to make this great was to teach it the correct way. Head Raps is proud to contribute to each team and individual player's style to show up on the field, look good, play good, stand out, be original.
National Collegiate Box Series National Championship. The championship matchup will be between the visitors from California, the San Diego Royals, and the home team from upstate New York, the Armory. It's time to meet both teams, starting with the visitors, the champions of the California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, the San Diego Royals. Introducing goalie number 1, Mason Spunyas. On defense, number 3, Griffin Poole. Offense, number 4, Ulrich Vanderheide. Defense, number 5, Caden Dietrich. Defense, number 6, Nate Ryan. Offense, number 8, Winston Bastian. Defense, number 10, Kyle Zansky. Defense, number 11, Jonathan Ford. Offense, number 12, Marcus Gandel. Staff to the San Diego Royals, Kim Holding, Westford, trailer player, and Skyler Ruth Winnery. And now it's time to meet the home team, the Maroons Cup champions from the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, introducing the Armory. On offense, number 2, Joey Presidenti. Offense, number 7, Rio Johnson. Offense, number 8, Dan Doviak. Offense, number 10, Caleb Benedict. Offense, number 11, Casey McDermott. Defense, number 12, Daniel Fuller. Offense, number 13, Luke Pilcher. Offense, number 14, Koichi Nakamura. Offense, number 15, Lars Stout. Defense, number 16, Cam Germain. Defense, number 17, Derek Kohut. Defense, number 18, Jelani Benton. Offense, number 19, Harrison Cross. Transition, number 20, Brady Ruffalo. Offense, number 21, Camden Hay. Transition, number 22, Tyler Good. Offense, number 23, Cody Gould. Defense, number 24, Jameer Warfield. Offense, number 25, Hunter Lemieux. Defense, number 27, Jared Bardeen. Goalie number 30, Will Dempsey. Goalie number 35, Kyle Mahar. The coaches for the Armory are Ron Kogan and Jordan Jarbeck. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, we kindly ask you to please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
first time ever, 5 teams would make their way to California for the National Collegiate Box Lacrosse Championship. From Connecticut, the Generals. From upstate New York, the Armory. From Ohio, the Rivermen. From Colorado, the Gold Miners. And from California, the Royals. The teams would compete in the biggest tournament in collegiate box lacrosse history, each team going head-to-head once. Now, just 2 teams remain, both in their inaugural seasons, with hopes of being named champions. Today, we will witness history, but who will make it? The Armory or the Royals? This is the 2021 NCBS champion.
Welcome to Silver Creek Sportsplex in San Jose, California. I'm Jonathan Horowitz with you for the championship game of the 2021 National Collegiate Box Series National Championship, featuring teams from California, the champions of the California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, the newest members of the National Collegiate Box Series, the San Diego Royals, taking on the winners of the Mearns Cup from the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, the Armory. And we're underway here from San Jose, California, with a big crowd on hand for the championship game. After 10 round robin games, it comes down to this: 2 teams with 3-1 records. Jake Govett, the first shot for the Royals. He's a veteran of the NCBS, having played in Colorado and now in California. And the Royals come up empty on the first possession, and now the first offensive possession for the Armory. Pilcher, their leading scorer during the season, fires it. Save is made by Caleb Mackey, but then on the second opportunity, the Armory will get the goal from Camden Hay. And just 45 seconds into this 15-minute quarter, the Armory go up 1-0, courtesy of Camden Hay. Armory are going from left to right in the opening quarter. Royals right to left. Royals in the purple uniforms with gold numbering and white trim, colors that are familiar because of their affiliation with a team with similar colors in the NLL, the San Diego Seals. The Armory in the bluish green uniforms. A shot from the wing and a quick start for the Armory, and it is Caleb Benedict or Casey McDermott, who had a couple of goals in the previous game for the Armory. He scored in every game in the tournament, and Casey McDermott puts the Armory up 2-0. So a quick start for the Armory. 2 goals within the first 2 minutes. One from Hay and then one from McDermott. Armory, the bluish-green uniforms, white numbering, red trim, and they're from the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League as McDermott fires again. This one goes wide into the Royals' end, and the Royals will try and regroup down 2-0. The UCBLL, founded by the NLL's Rochester Nighthawks and Buffalo Bandits, and so the partnership with the NLL franchises has really propelled the quality of box lacrosse that we're seeing in the NCBS. Royals will answer back, and in point-blank range, the goal coming for the Royals from Zach Snyder, and he got his first goal of the NCBS tournament in the final game of the tournament, which took place for the Royals last night, a matchup against this Armory squad. And he'll get the Royals' first goal of the championship game to bring the score to 2-1. These 2 teams met up last night. It was the final game after 5 games on a full day from Silver Creek Sportsplex. Bastian 1 against 4, so he'll wait for help from his Royals teammates. The pass is out of the reach of its target, Fernando Garcia, and so it rolls back into the Royals' end. Over and back is the call. The teams met up 9 o'clock last night, and the Royals were 3-0, so they were already guaranteed a spot in the finals. The Armory won 8-6, and the win for them clinched a spot in the NCBS National Championship game. The shot from Lemieux is stopped by the starting goalie for the Royals, Caleb Mackey, going up against Will Dempsey, the starting goalie for the Armory. And both of the goalies have been starting in this tournament, but did not play the most recent game for their teams, with the teams guaranteed a spot in the NCBS National Championship. Windup comes from the wing, and the shot by Laredo is now turned the other direction. We've been playing 12-minute quarters up until this point of the NCBS National Championship, but now 15-minute quarters for this championship game. Teams from 5 leagues represented, and the top 2 in the standings meet for a 1-game national championship with the trophy on the line. Rio Johnson spins against a couple of defenders, tries the behind-the-back pass. It goes into the corner where Lars Stout had a crack at it, but instead it'll be taken the other way by the Royals. A chance for a 3-on-2, now a 2-on-2 as Pohl goes to the bench. Aldrich Vanderhyde, who's had a multi-goal game in each of the 4 games he's played in the tournament, playing give and go with Laredo. Move towards goal, and Bastian knocked down as he shoots it, and it'll go out of play and go the other direction to the Armory. Armory clinching a spot in this national championship game by defeating the Royals last night, 8-6. A swing from the point by Benedict. Stop made by Mackey. Mackey, one of the top goalies of the tournament, as is his counterpart for the Armory in Will Dempsey. Mackey with another save off of the pad. We're 5 minutes 40 seconds gone by in this first quarter. And fireworks early on, the first 2 goals to the Armory, courtesy of Camden Hay and Casey McDermott. And then Zach Snyder getting the scoring started for the Royals. Vanderhyde from the point has a screen to work around, now works at cross court. Less than 10 seconds to shoot. Bastian goes into the corner to Yandel, cross court for Laredo, who shoots the low shot. It goes wide, bounces back in front of the goal as the shot clock was expiring, and McDermott retreats to pick up the ground ball for the Armory. Rio Johnson, team's 2nd leading scorer, behind Luke Pilcher. Johnson puts the shoulder into the defender, now draws a double team and trying to pass it back to the point. It will go over and back, although the bench for the Armory is saying that no, it actually took a ricochet and stayed in their end. Regardless, referee Justin Kitashima makes the call as we hit 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Stands are full here at Silver Creek Sportsplex for the championship game that is part of the larger U.S. Boxla Nationals. Govett with the pass behind the net. A give and go, and the finish coming from Yandel. Marcus Yandel from San Diego, California, gives the San Diego Royals their 2nd goal in a row, and we are tied up 2-2. 7.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and we'll get a stoppage in play. And the first 2 goals for the Armory, the Royals responding, and we're seeing great action on the court for the box lacrosse quality at the collegiate level in the United States. And we focus on the players, but it is worth recognizing the support system that gets them here. The parents very much involved, and for one of the Armory players, Will Dempsey, the goalie, he owes a lot of where he's at to his mother, Gail Dempsey, who, if you've been following the broadcast, you may have seen behind me with a notepad keeping track of all the saves that her son makes. And Gail Dempsey used to help manage the Syracuse lacrosse team and would drive from Rochester to Syracuse, or would drive from Syracuse to Rochester with a full van just so that not only her son, but other players in the community could play box lacrosse. And with going from Syracuse to Rochester over the years, it's paid off for a lot of those players, her son included, and able to now play at the highest level in terms of college box lacrosse in the United States. And you could see Gail Dempsey, who has had a very visible presence here at the NCBS National Championship Tournament. So halfway through the first quarter, a chance here for a 2-on-1, but the brakes will be put on by Nate Ryan, and the Royals will set up their half-court offense. Early on, a lot of quick action with 2 goals in the opening couple of minutes for the Armory, but the Royals now tie things up, and Bastian turns and fires. Some oohs and ahs from the crowd as the save is made by Dempsey. A fresh 30-second shot clock. Snyder passes it in behind the net. Vanderhyde will kick it out to Govett, swings it to the near side as Laredo winds up, and the save is made by Dempsey. The rebound continues to roll around, and the Royals will get it back off of the violation. So the Royals putting on the pressure here, but it skips away and goes into the stick of Will Dempsey. Dempsey played at the last U.S. Boxla Nationals in 2019 at the high school level, and now involved at the college level for the NCBS National Championship. Great move by McDermott to get through some defenders. It goes into the corner, and some physical play behind the net. It's been physical play all weekend. Some hard checks behind the net of Kayla Mackey. And now the Royals emerge with it. Chance for a breakaway. A 1-on-1 now, and the low shot by Owen Bennett, who's gotten a goal in transition in this tournament, this time is snuffed out by Dempsey. 5:45 to go in the first quarter of a 2-2 game. Both of these teams at 3-1, but 2 of each of these teams' wins have come by just 1 goal. That's been the storyline of the tournament, 1-goal games, and Griffin Poole thought he was going to be off to the races, but we get a whistle and a stoppage in play, and we're going to get the first penalty of the game called. It sends Peyton Rozenka to the penalty box. So with just over 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, the Armory have given up the last 2 goals. Will go on the power play in a 2-2 game. Creeping closer towards goal and working it around the perimeter. Up top for Lemieux. Rio Johnson, right wing, shoots through traffic, and it made its way through and then ricocheted into the corner. Fresh 30-second shot clock as McDermott resets the play. Rio Johnson from the point, behind the back pass. Pilcher tries the shot, and Mackey makes the save. Another opportunity from McDermott, another save Mackey. And Mackey with a shove of his own, joining his teammates with some hard checks that allow the Royals to break through shorthanded. Yandel will hold it at the point. Both of these teams have put together some offense even when they have been shorthanded. Snyder going to make the pass to Vanderhyde. Vanderhyde the shot. His stick got hit as he shot it. Bastian with the shot clock winding down. We'll have the shot clock expire on him, although we're going to get a delayed penalty here. The blue lights you see indicate that the shot clock is off, but the play is still continuing for the Royals. Wind up from Vanderhyde, and now finally the referees noticed that the shot clock had expired. It just takes a little bit more time off of the Royals' penalty, so the Royals will go on the power play after this first penalty against the Armory. It sends Hunter Lemieux to the penalty box. And final 5 seconds ticking off on the original penalty against Rozenka, so now the penalty is over. So pretty much a full power play here for the Royals, who killed off a penalty of their own and now look to take the lead in a 2-2 game. Govett from the top. He had a beautiful highlight reel goal yesterday. He'll snap it down low, and a one-timer as Laredo was able to make the pass to Bastian across the court, but moving from side to side has been a strength of Dempsey. So the first crack at the power play, and Dempsey wins that one for the Armory. The Royals players surrounding Pezzamenti, and it ended up opening things up a little bit for a shorthanded scoring chance for Pilcher, and Mackey's been just as good in goal on the other end for the Royals. The San Diego Seals, with whom the Royals are affiliated, tweeted out a beautiful highlight reel goal yesterday from Jake Govett, who now takes the pass along the right wing, gets it back with 5 to shoot. Snyder tries to connect with a cutting Govett, who fans on it, and the shot clock will expire. 40 seconds to go on the power play for the Royals. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. We had fireworks early, and now the teams have settled down a little bit. Tied up 2-2. Hay falls down, and it's picked up and taken in transition for the Royals by Jonathan Ford. Out to the point to Rozenka, and now Vanderhyde will look at the personnel that comes off of the bench for the Royals. Power play is over. 1 minute remaining in the first quarter. Snyder to Vanderhyde, winds up, and it goes wide and bounces all the way back into the Royals' end, and over and back call. Armory will reset from the corner. Luke Pilcher with the ball. Won a D3 national championship with Rochester Institute of Technology. Now looking to win a collegiate box national championship. Lemieux jumps and shoots, and Mackey is right there to stop it with the big chest protector. Shot clock now turned off. Final 20 seconds of the quarter, and the Royals can play for the last shot. 10 seconds to go. Laredo, cross court. Yandel, down low to Bastian, who tries the wraparound, and Dempsey's in the perfect position, has a little bit of trouble scooping it up, but does so as the horn sounds to end the first quarter with the teams deadlocked 2-2. So the Armory were able to get out early on and make the first impressions with the first 2 goals of the game. And then the Royals settled in, got 2 goals of their own. And these 2 teams that came in with identical 3-1 records into the national championship game are deadlocked at 2 after the first quarter in the 2021 NCBS National Championship. We'll be back in a couple minutes with quarter number 2.
As a varsity lacrosse coach for 12 years, I know firsthand how important box lacrosse is for the player and his field knowledge. Being part of this organization is not just an honor to us, but a cause much bigger than all of us. The great men that started this program knew the only way to make this great was to teach it the correct way. Head Wraps is proud to contribute to each team and individual player style to show up on the field, look good, play good, stand out, be original.
And we're back for the national championship game for the 2021 NCBS National Championships. Jonathan Horowitz with you on coverage produced by Scorebreak for NCBS.TV and also following on streams on YouTube and Twitter. A 2-2 game between the champions from California, the Royals, the newly created California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, and the champions from the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, the Armory, who are in their first year as part of the NCBS National Championship. Armory got the first 2 goals of the game, courtesy of Hay and McDermott, and then Snyder and Yandel responding with goals for the Royals. It's Yandel with it on the opening possession of the second quarter. Vanderhyde throws it back into the bench. Coaching staff for the Royals, all affiliated with the San Diego Seals: Cam Holding, Wes Berg, Trey LeClaire, and Skylar Moose Winnery. And Moose played in the NCBS National Championship in 2019 with the Fighting Bison from Colorado. A shot from Hay, and it goes back behind the net. Mackey comes out of his crease, and now his defense will turn the ball the other direction as Bennett brings it across the center line. A minute gone by in this second quarter of a 2-2 game. Less than 10 seconds to shoot as Vanderhyde to pick it up off of the bounce. Shot clock expiring, and swung from the wing by Bastian. Mackey able to make the stop. Snyder chasing down the offensive rebound in the corner. Gets it back up top for Vanderhyde. Bastian down low to Govett, who was on the doorstep but couldn't control the pass as he sustained a hit from Kohut. And the Armory will now set up shop for their offensive possession of the second quarter. Run across the goal mouth by Pilcher, and that got Mackey out of position. And Luke Pilcher able to score for the Armory within the first 2 minutes of this second quarter. Their first goal since pretty much the same time of the first quarter, and the Armory retake the lead 3-2. 3 different players have scored those 3 goals, and the Armory throughout this tournament have spread their scoring around. 7 different players scored in their first win, 8 in their second win, 7 in their third win. The loss today to the Gold Miners, understandably, with the Armory looking towards this national championship game. They just had 4 different players score, but looking for a balanced attack, which they've been able to achieve to this point against the Royals. Royals are likely going to look for a low-scoring affair. That's been the case in their 3 wins. Bastian, with traffic in front of him, puts on the brakes, changes direction, shoots through traffic, and responds for the Royals with the goal, who now have 3 goals from 3 different players. And this one comes from Winton Bastian, who's from nearby San Diego and Carlsbad, California. Winton Bastian plays his college lacrosse in Rhode Island at Providence College, and the ingredients for this Royals team, most of the players are local to the San Diego area. Just about 5 players that come from outside of Southern California, but they do during the school year go play their college lacrosse from coast to coast and then come back home in the summers to take part in the California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. 3-3 game. Just over 3.5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. And Govett has it taken away from him. A chance for the Armory in transition as Lemieux will take the pass from Germain. A Royals sandwich looking to get the ball back on Lemieux, who flicks it up in the air, but it's then taken away by Morris, and a delayed penalty coming up against the Armory. Bodies falling all over, and Peyton Rozenka fires it wide. Bastian with a second shot at it. The save is made by Dempsey. It's picked up in the corner, and trying a dunk from behind the net is Vanderhyde. Fresh 30-second shot clock, and the extra man out there is Yandel. Makes the pass down low to Govett, who fakes the shot, then shoots it. Save made by Dempsey. The pressure continues for the Royals. In front, one-timer for Bastian, and another save by Dempsey, finally picked up for the Armory by Jarmani Benton, and the play will stop and the penalty will be called against Camden Hay for the Armory to send the Royals on the power play in a 3-3 game with just over 5 minutes gone by in this second quarter. Yandel up top to Govett. Govett back at the point. Yandel faked the behind the back pass, instead went back to Govett, who spun it over to the left wing. Vanderhyde with traffic in front of him. Less than 10 seconds to shoot. Laredo goes cross court. Govett tried on the one-timer, and it's going to go out of play. One player for the Royals that we haven't seen yet in this game, who scored 2 goals in each of the first 2 games, was Marquez White, but he's been out for the last couple of games. Armory shorthanded. Pesamenti runs it into the corner, is met by 2 Royals defenders, and then an Armory player has been propelled into the net, and it took the feed out from Caleb Mackey, and there's some shoving in front of the crease, which the referees will now get in between. The play happened away from the ball as Luke Pilcher went flying like a bowling ball and treated Caleb Mackey like a bowling pin. And it was because he was shoved from behind, and so Reed Rozenka is called for a penalty for the Royals. So we're 4-on-4 for the next 30 seconds, and then the Armory will have a chance to go on the power play as we near the halfway stage of this second quarter in a 3-3 game. Jonathan Horowitz with you from Silver Creek Sportsplex in San Jose, California. Pilcher dives across the goal mouth, shoots and scores! Luke Pilcher with his second goal for the Armory, second goal of this quarter. And it gives the Armory a 4-3 lead. The Armory have always either been in front or it's been tied. Luke Pilcher, the team MVP, led the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League in goals, assists, and points. A native of Oakville, Ontario, Canada, who comes to the United States during the school year to play at RIT, where he won a Division III national championship. Face-off win for Griffin Pohl. And it's brought across the center line by Ryan. Royals have responded each time that the Armory has taken the lead in this national title game. Less than 10 seconds to shoot. Vanderhyde bounces off of Pesamenti. Pass in front for Govett, who bounces it towards goal, and Dempsey able to make the save. Germain heads the other direction. Chance for a 2-on-1 with Lemieux, who calculates that shot and ends up careening into the corner after Mackey makes the save. Now a chance on the other end. Peyton Rozenka, 1v1, looking for help off of the bench. Finds it in the form of Laredo. Now the Royals settle down into their half-court offense, the champions of the newly formed California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. 5 seconds to shoot. Vanderhyde rips it from the wing, and the save is made by Dempsey. You look at the way the season played out, and with just 2 teams in the California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, the Royals and the Dragons, who are based in San Francisco. The Royals had a 4-1 record, so a lot of their development came in practices and getting the wisdom from the NLL-affiliated players and coaches and implementing a lot of NLL strategies into their play. Vanderhyde draped by a Armory defender. The pass will be broken up, and a chance in transition for McDermott, who finds Lemieux, and the shot came. It was stopped by Mackey, and then it deflected back off of Lemieux. It looked like it went into the goal, but referee Justin Kitashima will call an in the crease violation, and the clock will stop with 5 minutes 39 seconds to go, and a penalty is being called on the Armory as well, and it will go against Germani Benton. So a dramatic swing of events in that last play, and it's going to set up power play for the Royals after this mid-quarter break that sees the Armory leading the Royals 4-3, representing leagues that are new to the National Collegiate Box Series National Championship. The original NCBS National Championship took place in 2019. It was the Morrow Cup champions from Colorado, the Fighting Bison, taking on the Ohio Cup champions from Ohio in the Rivermen. Great start to the National Championship tournament. They played 2 games, both teams won 1 game, and then they played a decisive overtime period that the Rivermen won 6-3, capturing the first NCBS National Championship trophy. And now 2 years later, the growth of the NCBS National Championship to not only include teams from Colorado, this year it was the Gold Miners winning the Morrow Cup for the first time, from Ohio, the Rivermen representing Ohio again, but also teams from California that we see here in the Royals, from upstate New York in the Armory, and the Generals from Connecticut. The Generals and the Gold Miners were able to finish up their tournament with the win, and now we're down to the final 2 teams as the Royals go on the power play looking to tie things up. Govett up top, works it to the left wing. Vanderhyde back to Govett. Less than 10 to shoot. Govett will release it from the point, and Dempsey's able to make the stop and trap it. To chance of good job, Will, from right behind me. Kohut short-handed runs it into the offensive end. 1:20 to go in the power play. Kohut ran back into his own defensive end, so it'll be over and back. Rozenka brings it forward for the Royals, but will wait for help coming from off the bench. Govett at the point, had a hat trick and a win against the Rivermen earlier in this tournament. Yandel to Govett, over to the far side, out of the reach of Snyder. Picking it up off of the bounce is Vanderhyde, who shoots it from an off angle. And the stop is made by Dempsey. Long pass up ahead, trying to catch Hay in transition, but instead it's sticked out of the air by Bennett. Bennett leading a 2-on-1 charge. Bennett makes the pass and the jump across the crease for Vanderhyde for the power play goal. It all started with Owen Bennett in transition. Vanderhyde was waiting for him coming from off the bench, and we're tied up 4-4. Challenge flag comes a long way off the bench from the Armory, and we'll get a review of that last play. Clock stops with 3:57 to go. And referee Justin Kitashima coming over to the scorer's table to talk with NCBS Commissioner Nico Blankenship to check on whether Vanderhyde was in the crease. We've seen the replay here on the broadcast, and for the NCBS, they have cameras mounted on the goal lines to check a close look of whether there was an in the crease call, and it's close. From our angle, we don't get as good a view as Justin Kitashima gets, as he's the one who's standing by the goal line. A 4-4 game, fairly low scoring through this second quarter, and that's the style of play that the Royals like to play, very defensive-minded, a lot of pressure defense with the NLL strategies that they implement. Now we're going to get the call from Justin Kitashima. It'll be confirmed as a good goal. So because the Armory threw the challenge, they'll lose the challenge, and they'll also be out of a timeout for this quarter. And Aldrich Vanderhyde, who has led the way for the Royals in the tournament with 10 goals through 4 games coming into this championship, gets his first goal of the title game. 4 different players have scored the 4 goals for the Royals. Cam Germain lost his shoe for the Armory, It's picked up by the referee and thrown towards the bench. Nearing 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Pesamenti sustains a hard hit from Pohl, but got the ball away before that. Collision even with the referee. Pilcher ran into Kitashima. Shot comes and Mackey makes the save. And now Ryan will head the other way for the Royals. Yandel walking it forward. Vanderhyde swings it around to the left wing. Back to the center for Laredo. Vanderhyde, who got the last goal, shoots it from an off angle. And it was deflected by the Armory, and so it goes out of play off of them, so it stays with the Royals, and it is a reset as Laredo's shot is stopped by Dempsey. Offensive rebound to the Royals, who continue to put the pressure on, looking to take their first lead of the game. Vanderhyde shoots as he falls down. Save is made by Dempsey. Vanderhyde picks up the rebound. Dempsey came up with 39 saves on 50 shots in the Mearns Cup championship win that the Armory had against the Hawkeyes. Violation sends the ball the other direction, and a chance for a 2-on-1. McDermott, though, has his momentum stopped. He makes the pass over to the far side. Mackey able to make the save, but he doesn't know where the rebound is. And running it is Benedict to scoop it up, and has an open net the size of the Pacific Ocean to throw it into. It'll give the Armory the lead. The rebound just sat there waiting to be addressed, and Caleb Benedict, who was second on the Armory in goals, was the one to do it. The challenge flag comes out from the coaching staff for the Royals to see whether Benedict was in the crease. The clock stops with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter in this seesaw battle that has always seen the Armory be just a step ahead of the Royals. The Royals have been able to tie it a few times, tied it up 4-4, but then Benedict with a loose ball in front of the net was able to chip it home, but the question is whether or not he was in the crease as referee Justin Kitashima comes over to talk to NCBS Commissioner Nico Blankenship. Other referees, Charlie Whitty and John Sabo, and they've done a great job all tournament. The other referee that's been in this rotation in the NCBS National Championship has been Khalid Al-Shami. Most of the crew based in Colorado. John Sabo is the lone non-Coloradan. He's come from upstate New York. The angles that they have for these replays come courtesy of cameras that have been mounted along the goal lines. This game of box lacrosse, a game of inches, and whether or not you're in the crease could very well be the difference. Now, there are two potentials I can see of who could have been in the crease. It could have been the initial follow-up for the rebound, or it could have been Benedict coming in from the near side who ultimately put the goal into the net. And referees taking their time reviewing this, and now we're going to get the call from head referee Justin Kitashima. And it'll count as a goal for Caleb Benedict. And the Armory now go up 5-4 with 2 minutes to go in a very, very evenly matched national championship. So both teams have challenged, both teams' challenges have failed. And so now they're each out of timeouts for the remainder of this second quarter as we get the face-off between Griffin Pohl for the Royals and Koichi Nakamura for the Armory. It bounced off of Nakamura's head. Nakamura came over to the United States from Fukuoka, Japan, trying to be the first Asian-born player to make the NLL, and he would live off of people's couches when he first got here and then got settled into a program at Onondaga Community College. Royals control the ball off of the face-off as we hit a minute and a half to go in the second quarter. Govett through traffic, shoots and scores! Jake Govett becomes the 5th different player to score for the Royals, who respond less than a minute after the Armory got the goal to make it 5-4, and now we're tied up 5-5. Five different players have scored for the Royals. 4 different players have scored for the Armory. Balanced teams, evenly matched, tied up 5-5 as we hit the final minute of the second quarter. Royals get it off the face-off. About a 20-second differential between shot clock and game clock, so we'll see if they play 2 for 1. They're going to take their time getting the right personnel onto the floor. Vanderhyde waits for everyone to get in position, walks to the point, motions with the left. Now starts the stutter step towards goal, less than 10 to shoot. Up top for Yandel. Yandel rips one from the point. Bastian, a second opportunity as the shot clock was expiring. It did make its way through. The save was made by Dempsey. It went out of play off of the Armory, and the shot clock did reset just in time. So it's going to go to the Royals, who have to hurry because the clock didn't stop. There's 3 seconds to go. It'll be a wind-up at the buzzer from Peyton Rozenka. And just like we went to the first quarter break, tied at 2, we now go to the halftime break, tied at 5. So this is collegiate box lacrosse at its highest level, and it's definitely evident how much the sport has grown in the United States since the first NCBS National Championship, the most recent one taking place 2 years ago. There have been scouts on hand here at U.S. Boxla Nationals, GMs from the NLL, even Commissioner Nick Sikevich is on hand and addressed both teams in their locker rooms, just saying how great it is that these 2 teams and the other teams in the NCBS National Championship have been able to carry the sport of box lacrosse forward. We've been treated to a great first half. It's 5-5, 1 more half to go, potentially overtime. We're tied up 5-5 in the 2021 NCBS National Championship game. We'll be back with you in about 8 minutes time for the start of the second half. In the meantime, enjoy the halftime entertainment produced by Scorebreak for NCBS.TV.
The NCBS, which is the National Collegiate Box Series, is kind of an American version of junior A lacrosse. You know, the idea for the NCBS has kind of been one that's been brewing for a while now. I think with the growth of the National Lacrosse League and their expansion and all the excitement that's coming along with it, we need to have growth of the American box lacrosse player, and that's happening now through the NCBS, and what an exciting time. Here we are in Colorado sitting in our 3rd year. Ohio's in their 2nd, and it's going to be a fantastic summer where the winner of Colorado is going to meet the winner of Ohio in California for national championship.
As a varsity lacrosse coach for 12 years, I know firsthand how important box lacrosse is for the player and his field knowledge. Being part of this organization is not just an honor to us, but a cause much bigger than all of us. The great men that started this program knew the only way to make this great was to teach it the correct way. Head Wraps is proud to contribute to each team and individual player's style to show up on the field, look good, play good, stand out, be original.
Very early in my lacrosse career, I gained an appreciation for the value of box lacrosse as it carried over into field lacrosse. And every kid should be starting by playing box lacrosse instead of field lacrosse. So many young men from Canada who play box lacrosse are getting a lot of scholarship money in the U.S. for college. By starting this thing in the U.S. now, I really believe that we're going to have a great symbiotic kind of relationship between the education you can get in college, but the kids being better skilled to play field lacrosse through box. You never see a kid come off the rink without a smile on his face, win, lose, or draw. And there are a lot of reasons for that. Number one, it's so much fun. Nobody's pigeonholed into a position. You know, everybody's up. In field lacrosse, you throw a ball over someone's head, it rolls 30 yards, it goes out of bounds. In box, it stays in play. So that the quick, oh my God, I failed. There is no failure. It just, oh my God, it's in play in a different way. Then the 30-second shot clock and the speed at which it's played can only enhance what we're doing in field lacrosse at the college level. The key for me is using lacrosse to make young people happy.
For the first time ever, 5 teams would make their way to California for the National Collegiate Box Lacrosse Championship. From Connecticut, the Generals. From upstate New York, the Armory. From Ohio, the Rivermen. From Colorado, the Gold Miners. And from California, the Royals. The teams would compete in the biggest tournament in collegiate box lacrosse history, each team going head-to-head once. Now, just 2 teams remain, both in their inaugural seasons, with hopes of being named champions. Today, we will witness history, but who will make it?
Welcome back to coverage of the NCBS National Championship, produced by Scorebreak on ncbs.tv, streaming on Twitter at US Box Law, also streaming on Facebook. A great crew has brought you every game as part of the NCBS National Championship. I'm Jonathan Horowitz. The pictures that you see filmed throughout the tournament by CJ Madrill. Kai Clark has been directing and has helped produce some of the instant replays and the highlights that you've seen. And Jordan Hendry behind the scenes, also a great team that has helped organize the NCBS National Championship, headed by Commissioner Nico Blankenship as well as Jesse Gallant. It really takes a village to help bring these players to this point, and we've seen the growth of box lacrosse at the collegiate level in the United States throughout this entire tournament, and just blown away the comments that we're hearing as how much it's grown since the inaugural NCBS National Championship 2 years ago. The teams have taken the court again. The Royals players huddling around goalkeeper Caleb Mackey, and now we get set for the opening face-off of the second half. Koichi Nakamura for the Armory, one of several players, part of the Armory, who play their college lacrosse at Onondaga Community College. Going against Griffin Pohl, and Nakamura will win that one. And the Armory will go on offense to start this third quarter in a 5-5 game. They've spread their offense around. 4 different players have scored. 5 different players have scored for the Royals, so you see the depth that these two teams have on display. Shot clock is under 10. The windup comes from McDermott, and just as he was part of the early scoring in the first quarter for the Armory, Casey McDermott getting the goal to give the Armory a 6-5 lead, and that is his second goal of the game, joining Luke Pilcher as scoring multiple goals in this game. That goal coming just about 40 seconds into the second half. So again, the Armory take a 1-goal lead, 6-5, courtesy of Casey McDermott, who plays his college lacrosse, having completed his freshman season at Johns Hopkins in Maryland, was 3rd this summer in points for the Armory in the UCBLL. The Armory winning the faceoff, but now a takeaway by Rozenka. Chance for a 2-on-1 with Ryan bouncing it towards goal. And he missed it, but Rozenka is able to pick it up, and the Royals will look to answer just as they have every time that the Armory have taken the lead in this game. Snyder up top for Vanderhyde. Cross court to Govett. Govett with the stutter step. Govett with the spin. Into the corner with less than 10 to shoot. Bastian puts the shoulder into the defender. Back to Vanderhyde. Shot clock at 3 as to force a shot that goes high. And it's going to roll back into the Royals' end and be a shot clock violation. Armory now setting up shop in the offensive end, having just taken a 6-5 lead, courtesy of the ripper from the point by McDermott. Lemieux will make the pass to McDermott, whose shot this time deflects into the corner. McDermott looking to get it back, does so, finds Lemieux. Lemieux hit from behind by Bennett, but powers past him and puts it in past Mackey. And Hunter Lemieux getting the goal for the Armory, and they go up 7-5. So the Armory have come out with the first swings of the second half, getting the first 2 goals of the half, much like they did getting the first 2 goals of the first half. So the Royals will be in a position to try to battle back. Violation on the face-off by Pohl, and the Armory's second half start has been anchored by Nakamura winning faceoffs at the faceoff dot. The windup from McDermott, and he now has a hat trick. Such a hard shot from the point, and Mackey's going to walk over to the corner to try and shake that one off, as the Armory have scored 3 goals in the first 3 minutes, 15 seconds of the third quarter, with 2 of them coming from Casey McDermott and 1 from Hunter Lemieux. Change in face-off personnel for the Royals as Rozenka wins it. Ryan trying to take one back, shoots it wide. Ball bounces high. Rozenka picks it up. So now a 3-goal deficit for the Royals, who trail 8-5 against the Armory. Laredo makes the pass to Yandel, just 3 seconds to shoot. The shot makes it on goal. Dempsey with the kick save. It goes out of play. It'll stay with the Royals, but the Armory defense keeping them well away from goal at the moment. Vanderhyde knocked off his line. Pass gets away from Bastian. Ball is still loose. It's flicked to Vanderhyde. Vanderhyde back to Laredo. Laredo the stutter step. 5 seconds to shoot. Royals are going to have to force up another shot that doesn't have a lot of value on it. And it goes wide, and we'll get a shot clock violation. Armory kicked off the 2021 NCBS National Championship against the Rivermen with a strong second half. Here's the takeaway by Rozenka. A chance for a breakaway. Rozenka all alone. Deakston scores on Dempsey. And looking to start the comeback for the Royals. 6 goals from 6 different players, and it's Peyton Rozenka putting in his 5th goal of the tournament. And it makes it 8-6. But the Armory still outscoring the Royals in this quarter 3-1. And they were a strong second half team to start the national championship as Rozenka had the face-off one for a moment, then it was knocked away from him, and then Rozenka gets into a shoving match over on the far side. Germain is in there for the Armory, and also McDermott was part of the tussle with Rozenka. Referees knew that this could be a physical game, and they break up the players on the ground. Referees will allow play to continue, and the Armory look to continue their strong second half, much like which led them to their initial victory against the Rivermen. They were down 8-1 in the first game of the tournament, but came back in the second half to win 12-11. Outscoring the Rivermen 11-3 in the second half. A wind up from Laredo. Dempsey kicks the foot out to make the save. Royals get the rebound. Vanderhyde with a head of steam is clocked by a couple of Armory defenders and shoots it out of play. And so the ball will go back to the Armory, who lead 8-6. And the shoving continues away from the ball. This time for the Royals, it's Reed Rozenka. And for the Armory, it's Caleb Benedict. And this time, both players are going to go to the penalty box. We'll get a cross-checking penalty and a slash. We'll play 5-a-side still as we near the halfway stage of this third quarter. An 8-6 lead for the Armory. It was tied 5-5 at halftime. A takeaway by the Royals. A hit by Pilcher has knocked down Ryan. Ball is picked up by Bennett. Bennett pushed from behind and into the goal underneath Will Dempsey. Play stops with 7 minutes, 22 seconds to go. As referee Justin Kitashima talks with Dempsey, and the push from behind is going to cost Hunter Lemieux the next 2 minutes in the penalty box. So things really heating up in the NCBS National Championship. The referees, for the most part throughout this tournament, have allowed the physical play to go, but just looking to keep things in check from getting out of hand here. And Lemieux with the push from behind on Bennett, sending Bennett into goalie Will Dempsey, and that will send Lemieux to the penalty box. So the Royals will have a power play looking to climb back. trailing 8-6, and the skill level and the physicality definitely on display here in the NCBS National Championship. Two squads that have been very much influenced by their partnership with the NLL, the San Diego Royals affiliated with the San Diego Seals, and with just two teams in the California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League this year, relying a lot on practices and being able to get the wisdom of the coaching staff, Wes Berg, Trey LeClaire, Cam Holding, Skylar Bruce-Winery, and then for the Armory, they're part of the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League that was founded by the Rochester Nighthawks and the Buffalo Bandits, so they get to play some of their games in the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester and getting the wisdom of their former pro and college players that are part of their coaching staff. They include Ron Cogan and Jordan Jarvis, and so the wisdom from the previous generation being passed to the next generation, and this could be a glimpse into the future for box lacrosse in the United States. Back to action with the power play for the Royals. Ball works around the perimeter. All 5 players have touched it on this possession as Bastian shoots it from the right wing, and Will Dempsey is able to make the stop and cover it up. Under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pesamenti into the front court. Rio Johnson backpedals towards the boards. Johnson has it knocked away from him. It goes back to the center line. Kept in for the Armory by Cross, and a big hit as Cross kept it in. We're gonna get a cross check, and Lemieux will come out of the penalty box, sustain a hit, and that will send the Royals' Peyton Rozenka, I believe it was Rozenka, we'll see what number goes up on the scoreboard, to the penalty box. No, it's not Rozenka, it is Cam Morris who goes to the penalty box. So we have a 2-man advantage for the Armory. Up by 2 at the moment. And the Royals able to take some time now off of the first penalty, which just has 10 seconds to go. A takeaway here, though, by Rio Johnson. First penalty against the Royals is coming to an end. Actually, the scoreboard was a bit backwards, so that was the penalty against the Armory that comes to an end. So now the Armory have a power play. As just coming out of the penalty box was Pilcher. Cross court to McDermott with less than 5 to shoot. The stop is made by Mackey. And now we settle into an Armory power play. The Royals shorthanded for the next 45 seconds. 8-6 lead with under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Armory, the number 1 seed by virtue of their win against the Royals last night. Against the Royals, the number 2 seed, both teams with identical 3-1 records. Dempsey will cover it up, and Govett was in the crease there and took a shove for his efforts from Jarmani Benton. McDermott runs it behind the net. McDermott with a hat trick, the leading scorer for both teams. Rio Johnson, the low shot. Goes wide, picked up Pilcher. Cross court for the one-timer, and Mackey able to go across the crease to make the save on McDermott. And now we get a delayed penalty. A chance for a 2-on-1. Snyder takes the feed, and it drifted behind Dempsey, who kept it out of the net somehow. Snyder and Rozenka were on the 2-on-1. Snyder with the shot that almost snuck in. And we'll get an interference penalty against the Armory, and it will go against McDermott. So the Royals set up shop on the power play. Vanderhyde to Govett at the point. Left wing Laredo. Back up top Govett. Now swings it to the other side. Pass goes off of the boards. Govett picks it up. 10 to shoot. Govett fires. Govett scores. Jake Govett now with 2 goals as he knocks the power play goal past Will Dempsey to make it a 1-goal game, 8-7. Royals got in a 3-goal hole after the Armory scored 3 goals in the first 3.5 minutes of this third quarter. And the Royals have climbed back, scoring the last 2 to now be within 1. Peyton Rozenka to take the face-off for the Royals against Koichi Nakamura for the Armory. Nakamura flicks it back, but it's scooped up by Rozenka. 1-on-1, now 2-on-1. Can't connect with Ryan, though. Rozenka in front, and the ripper, and the goal off the one-timer coming from Reed Rozenka. Peyton to Reed, and the Royals have tied it up 8-8. So just after Reed Rozenka gets the goal, he celebrates with his brother Peyton Rozenka, who got this rally, the 3-0 rally started for the Royals, and we're tied up at 8. Shot comes from Pezzamenti, the stop by Mackey. And Reed Rozenka picks up the ground ball with a 1-on-1 chance, and he fires it wide. 1.5 minutes to go, and the Royals, with a 3-0 run of their own, have responded to the 3-0 run to start the quarter for the Armory. But the Royals have never led in this game. The Armory have always either led or it's been tied. Shot from Lemieux, goes wide. Picked up by Reed Rozenka, who bounces off a defender. Runs it into the offensive end. Yandel will hold up and wait for support as we go inside the final minute of the third quarter. We were tied 2-2 after 1, tied 5-5 after 2, and we're 8-8 in the third quarter. The shot from Laredo, hard and high, goes over the net, and then a second opportunity from Govett. 1 second on the shot clock, and Laredo fires it wide, so a few wide shots on that possession. Shot clock and game clock are nearly identical for the Armory here. 8-8 game. Run towards goal by Pilcher, and it's steered aside. And now a 1-on-1. Ryan looking for help. Griffin pulled the trailer. Ryan will wait. 6 seconds to go. Rozenka takes the pass on the run. 3 seconds into the center, and a wide shot by Vanderhyde at the buzzer. So, what a game we're having. 2-2 after 1, 5-5 at halftime, 8-8 after 3. One more quarter of regulation to decide the 2021 NCBS National Champion between California's San Diego Royals and upstate New York's Armory. We'll be back in a couple minutes with the dramatic fourth quarter on NCBS.TV.
As a varsity lacrosse coach for 12 years, I know firsthand how important box lacrosse is for the player and his field knowledge. Being part of this organization is not just an honor to us, but a cause much bigger than all of us. The great men that started this program knew the only way to make this great was to teach it the correct way. Head Wraps is proud to contribute to each team and individual player's style to show up on the field, look good, play good, stand out, be original.
Silver Creek Sportsplex, the site of the 2021 U.S. Boxla Nationals and the main event of the U.S. Boxla Nationals, becoming the National Collegiate Box Series National Championship, and the title game certainly living up to the hype throughout the tournament. The 10 round robin games, we've seen great play in collegiate box lacrosse, and now it comes down to the fourth quarter in an 8-8 game between the top two seeds as Peyton Rosenko wins the faceoff for the Royals, going against the Armory. The Royals have yet to lead in this game. It's the Armory who've always been just that step ahead, and in fact got 3 steps ahead with the first 3 goals of the third quarter, but the Royals currently on a 3-0 run have tied things up 8-8. Vanderhyde runs it to the point, shoots, and it deflects off of Dempsey. Ball rolls towards the Royals bench, a battle for the ground ball. Vanderhyde kicks it towards the corner. He'll try and chase it down, but McDermott will get the first crack at it. It continues to roll around like a game of hot potato, but now picked up. Germain sustains a huge hit from Bennett, and Germain with a swing of the stick at Bennett, and I think that one's going to send Germain to the box maybe for more than 2. Now Bennett with a big hit, but he's going to go to the box. Germain turned around and swung at him. And we'll sort out the penalties. You have Owen Bennett in the box for the Royals. Cam Germain going to the box for the Armory. And at the moment, nothing is on the scoreboard. So it could very well be just matching minors, but that was a big swing from Cam Germain targeted at Owen Bennett. The original hit from Bennett, I mean, that was a shot to the head, but we'll still play 5 aside. Shot from Bastian goes wide. Govett the rebound. Govett the putback, but he was in the crease. And it stays tied 8-8. Two and a half minutes gone by in a scoreless fourth quarter. Battle for it in the center line near where we're seated for our broadcast. Reed Rosenka, who got the most recent goal, assisted by his brother Peyton Rosenka, leads the outlet to Pole. Most of the action offensively for the Royals to start the fourth quarter. Royals looking for their first lead of the game. Laredo with the pass in behind the net. Up top for Vanderhyde, puts it on goal from the point, and it's picked up by Kohut with some pressure coming from behind for the Royals, offensive players. And now the Armory will break it into the offensive end. 8-8 game, 3.5 minutes through this fourth quarter. Ball stays in the stick of Pilcher, and McDermott was faking that he had it. McDermott now goes cross court, shot clock winding down, and Pilcher with the shot clock expiring, not able to get the shot off. So it's turned over to the Royals. Govett surveys the scene in front of him along the near boards. Now makes a run towards goal, puts the shoulder into his defender, gets met by a double team. Now flicks it behind his body into the corner where Vanderhyde will pick it up. Shot clock's at 7. Govett gets it back, spins away from his defender. Shoots. Stop is made by Dempsey. No scoring yet through the first 4.5 minutes of this fourth quarter. Whereas we've had multiple goals within the first couple of minutes in each of the previous quarters. Pezzamenti knocked off his line. And illegal screen will turn it over to the Royals. Vanderhyde fires one from the left wing. The save is made by Dempsey. Vanderhyde chases down his own rebound. Ball is loose in the corner. Help from Snyder, who picks it up. Crunched into the boards by Lemieux. Snyder gets it away. Flicks it to Vanderhyde. Vanderhyde tries the dunk on Dempsey, and Dempsey was right there to stop it. Still a tie game, 8-8, with 9 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Check of Lemieux right in front of me. Some physical play continuing, and it's flicked back into the Royals' end, and Reed Rosenko will pick it up, make the long outlet pass to brother Peyton. Peyton Rosenko puts on the brakes. Royals go into their half-court set. Yandel to Govett, cross court. Vanderhyde down into the corner, now with 7 seconds to shoot. Yandel gets it back. Yandel back behind the net, out in front for Govett, out of his reach, up top for Snyder, who puts it towards goal, and Dempsey makes the save with the chest. Still no scoring through 6.5 minutes of this fourth quarter. Cross with the cross-court pass. Back cross-court again. Pezzamenti from behind the net. Out in front to a cutting Pilcher, and Pilcher scores off the feed from Pezzamenti to give the Armory a 9-8 lead. Pilcher now with the hat trick, joining McDermott with a hat trick for the Armory. Armory again retake the lead. They've been in the lead up 2-0, up 3-2, up 4-3, up 5-4, up 8-5, and now up 9-8. Peyton Rosenko lost the stick on the face-off, but the Royals still control it. Brought across the center line by Dietrich. So can the Royals respond just like they have every time that the Armory have taken the lead? Ten seconds to shoot. Vanderhyde splits defenders. Vanderhyde dekes and scores! Aldrich Vanderhyde putting it in to tie it up 9-9. Clock stops with 7 minutes, 12 seconds to go, the mid-quarter break, as Aldrich Vanderhyde notches his second goal. He joins Jake Govett with a multiple goal performance. And we're tied up 9-9 with 7 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the fourth quarter with the NCBS National Championship Trophy on the line. I'm Jonathan Horowitz with you from Silver Creek Sportsplex, that has been a great host to the U.S. Boxla Nationals and these 2021 National Collegiate Box Series National Championships. Games being played across multiple sites for the U.S. Boxla Nationals, but right here is the focus with a great crowd on hand, many that you can see behind me. The 5 teams for the NCBS National Championship from Colorado, Ohio, upstate New York, Connecticut, and California, now down to 2, and so evenly matched between the Royals and the Armory. We're tied up 9-9. Now, the way the storyline has gone, the Armory have always been just a step ahead of the Royals, and the Royals have managed to come back every time to tie things up, but they have yet to take the lead. 7 different players have scored for the Royals. 5 different players have scored for the Armory. Face-off now between Peyton Rosenko, who's taken over face-off duties for the Royals, against Koichi Nakamura, who's had the face-off each time for the Armory. A steal here, and Pezzamenti takes it away for the Armory as we hit 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 9-9 game. Lars Stout along the near boards. Loses it. And picked up by Ryan for the Royals. Griffin pull into the front court. Peyton Rozenka, cross court, out of the reach of Laredo. It will bounce out of play. And the last touch off of the Royals, so it goes to the Armory as we go under 6.5 minutes of this fourth quarter for the NCBS National Championship Trophy. After the game, we'll have the ceremony. I'll head back over from where I'm at on this side of the court to the other side by the scorer's table to do the public address announcements for the championship. Move towards goal will give the Armory the lead as Luke Pilcher burst through the defense and put it low past Mackey. Pilcher now with 4 goals and the leading scorer in the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, coming alive with 2 goals in this fourth quarter and 4 in the game. And again, the Armory take the lead and are up 10-9 with 5 minutes 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Can the Royals respond just like they have every time the Armory have taken the lead? 5 minutes, 20 seconds to do that. Bastian puts his shoulder into the defender. Cross-court pass, Laredo. Going 1v1 against Germain, now gets the screen. Shot goes wide. Rebound goes towards the boards where Vanderhyde picks it up and fires it just as the shot clock expires. And here come the Armory the other direction. Under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Pezzamenti feeds Benedict. It goes wide into the corner. Offensive rebound chase down for the Armory. Pezzamenti again through traffic, shoots and scores! And Joey Pezzamenti has given the Armory a 2-goal cushion. Pezzamenti scoring his first goal of the game. He's now scored in 4 of 5 games in this NCBS National Championship Tournament. An 11-9 lead for the Armory. Face-off batted by Nakamura. He falls down, and it continues to stay alive. Rozenka on the ground, and Nakamura is going to get called for a penalty. Cross-check on Nakamura. So the Royals going on the power play, looking to climb out of a 2-goal hole, trailing 11-9 against the Armory. Govett makes a cut towards goal. Instead it goes to Vanderhyde. Yandel now works it to the near side to Bastian. Back to Vanderhyde. Down into the corner, up top. Bastian rips it. It gets deflected. It bounces with some funny spin behind the net. Shot clock winding down. Vanderhyde the shot. Dempsey the save. Bastian chases down the rebound. 3 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. Yandel up top. It's getting loud here at Silver Creek Sportsplex. Shot comes from Vanderhyde with precision into the back of the net. He and Yandel were just playing give and go, waiting for the right moment, and Aldrich Vanderhyde now with the hat trick, his second goal of the quarter, that one coming on the power play. And the Royals are within 1. Nakamura comes out of the box to take the face-off. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Clock stops inside the final 2 minutes. Hard hits rattle the boards here at Silver Creek Sportsplex. Peyton Rozenka controls it for the Royals and now comes off the bench after giving it to Laredo. 2 minutes to go now. Royals down by 1. Yandel at the point. Passes it to the near side to Bastian. Bastian muscles through the defense and he's met by Dempsey. Bodies flying on the ground and Armory come up with it. Kohut in transition brings it into the offensive end. High pass out of the reach of Pilcher. Cross recovers to pick it up for the Armory. Now McDermott sets up shop at the point with 15 to shoot, 1.5 minutes to go in the game. Hay back to McDermott, 10 seconds to shoot. McDermott asks for a screen, gets it from Cross, makes the pass down low. Pilcher, the behind the back shot that Mackey stops, and it was rolling dangerously in front of him. Now in transition, here's Vanderhyde, winds up and shoots, and the stop is made by Dempsey. Actually, it bounced in front of Dempsey and out of play ultimately, so it'll go back to the Armory as we hit 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter, an 11-10 lead for the Armory. McDermott goes up top to Lemieux. Armory will take some time off the clock. Pass into the corner. Pilcher runs it to the point, less than 10 to shoot. Pezzamenti winds up, Mackey makes the save. Clock stops with 40.6 seconds remaining. Royals trailing by 1, and they're gonna call timeout. Clock stops with 39.7 seconds to go. So the coaching staff for the Royals, affiliated with the San Diego Seals, talking strategy with 39.7 seconds remaining. Cab Holding, Wes Berg, Trey LeClaire, and Skylar Moose-Winery on the coaching staff for the Royals. And defensively, the strategy from Ron Kogan and Jordan Jarvis for the Armory. There's about a 10-second differential between shot clock and game clock, so a question of whether you pull Mackey for the extra attacker. Each time the Armory have taken the lead, the Royals have responded with a rally of their own. We were tied 2-2 after 1, 5-5 at halftime, 8-8 after 3. Armory took a 9-8 lead, Royals responded. Armory took an 11-9 lead, and Aldrich Vanderhyde with a power play goal has made it 11-10. Mackey stays on the bench, 39.7 seconds to go. Extra attacker is out for the Royals, who will be looking to tie things up. Will Dempsey and referee Charlie Whitty positioning the goal in place. Here we go with the restart. Chase Laredo runs it into the offensive end. Pass cross court. Govett rips it and scores! Jake Govett took the pass from Snyder. And Govett picks up a hat trick to tie things up 11-11 with 31.4 seconds remaining. Again, the Royals have never had the lead, but they continue to tie things up on the Armory, and we're tied again at 11. Crucial face-off, Peyton Rozenka and Koichi Nakamura. And Rozenka scoops up the ground ball. Shot clock is off. Can the Royals win it in the last possession? A check along the far side. Laredo with a chance at the ground ball that rolls in front of his feet. It's flicked on, and it's picked up by Germain, but it's whistled dead with a timeout being called by the Armory. So as soon as Germain picked up the ground ball, the coaches, Ron Kogan and Jordan Jarvis, were there to call a timeout. And with 12.3 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, the Armory will have a chance to win the 2021 NCBS National Championship. The Royals got the first opportunity with the face-off win from Peyton Rozenka. Then some physical play. Germain leading the charge on defense for the Armory, and Chase Laredo couldn't pick up the ground ball, so ultimately Germain got it. As soon as he did, a timeout was called. There'll be some time put back on the clock, 13.1 seconds. Royals break the huddle first and bang the sticks against the boards to fire up their defensive squad. Now the horn sounds to call the Armory back onto the court. Play will restart with the goalie pulled. Will Dempsey pulled in favor of an extra attacker. And McDermott, who has a hat trick, gets things going for the Armory. 10 seconds to go. McDermott crosses the center line, makes the pass to the far side. Pilcher walks it in, fires it wide. Long rebound. McDermott as the horn sounds, and we're going to overtime. Tied 11-11. We were tied 2-2 after one, 5-5 at halftime, 8-8 after three, 11-11 after four. And what's remarkable is the Royals have never led in this game. The Armory have always either gotten a 1-goal lead, a 2-goal lead, even as much as a 3-goal lead in the third quarter. But the Royals have come back every time, getting the last 2 goals of that fourth quarter from Vanderhyde on the power play, and then Jake Govett getting the goal to tie things up. So we're going to get some bonus lacrosse with the next goal to win it for the 2021 NCBS National Championship. The Royals from the California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, the newest league part of the NCBS, and the Armory from upstate New York, the first time that upstate New York has been part of the NCBS National Championship, and they're treating us to a classic here that we'll remember for years to come with the growth of collegiate box lacrosse in the United States. The teams break the huddle, so let's head over to the court here at Silver Creek Sportsplex. Last instructions as we now go to overtime for the NCBS National Championship. The Armory chose to go to the locker room during the break before overtime. The Royals stayed out on their bench. Peyton Rozenka waiting at the center circle to take the face-off against Koichi Nakamura. 15 minutes on the clock with a championship on the line. Referee Justin Kitashima points at both goalies. They're ready to go. We're ready to go. Opening face-off of the 5th period here. Rozenka flicks it forward. Nakamura will pick up the ground ball, has it knocked away from him. And the Royals, Ryan, will bring it across the center line. Leaves it for Govett. Govett spins. Govett with some space. Govett with the shot. It goes wide. Royals control the rebound. Shot clock doesn't reset, though. It's at 5 for Vanderhyde looking to win it, and it got through. Dempsey made the save. Royals keep the pressure on. Up top to Vanderhyde again. Vanderhyde with the shimmy, with the spin. Now over to the far side. Snyder to the corner. Here comes a shot from Laredo, and Dempsey makes the save. Another offensive rebound. Royals continue with the pressure, looking for their first lead, which would be the biggest one of the tournament. Laredo around a screen. Elects to go back to Vanderhyde. Vanderhyde winds up, shot gets blocked. Royals get it back in the corner. Govett with 10 seconds to shoot. Govett with the spin move, muscling in, and he's in the crease. So the first minute and a half in Royals offensive territory, and the Armory sustained 3 or 4 different charges, and now the Armory will try and win it. Tied 11-11. Lemieux with the spin move up top to Pezzamenti. Traffic in front of Pezzamenti. Pezzamenti rips it wide. Picked up by McDermott. McDermott fires, and it gets through to Mackey, who sits on it and makes the save. So both teams with good chances to start overtime. We're 2 minutes through the overtime period. Yandel for the Royals makes the cross-court pass, and here comes the shot from Snyder, and Snyder wins the NCBS National Championship for the Royals, sneaking it in past the very good Will Dempsey, and in the end, it's Zach Snyder, who didn't score until the last game of the tournament, and he puts in his second goal of the game. He got the scoring started for the Royals, and he wins it for the Royals in overtime, 12-11. And the Royals players will celebrate. The Armory can hold their heads high. We'll have the trophy presentation coming up next from Silver Creek Sportsplex, a classic for the 2021 NCBS National Championship with Zach Snyder winning it for the Royals.
As a varsity lacrosse coach for 12 years, I know firsthand how important box lacrosse is for the player and his field knowledge. Being part of this organization is not just an honor to us, but a cause much bigger than all of us. The great men that started this program knew the only way to make this great was to teach it the correct way. Head Wraps is proud to contribute to each team and individual player style to show up on the field, look good, play good, stand out, be original.
first time ever, 5 teams would make their way to California for the National Collegiate Box Lacrosse Championship. From Connecticut, the Generals. From upstate New York, the Armory. From Ohio, the Rivermen. From Colorado, the Gold Miners. And from California, the Royals. The teams would compete in the biggest tournament in collegiate box lacrosse history, each team going head-to-head once. Now, just 2 teams remain, both in their inaugural seasons, with hopes of being named champions. Today, we will witness history, but who will make it? The Armory or the Royals? This is the 2021 NCBS Champion.
Rio Johnson. Number 8, Dan Dobiak. Number 10, Caleb Benedict. Number 11, Casey McDermott. Number 12, Daniel Fuller. Number 13, Luke Pilcher. Number 14, Koichi Nakamura. Number 15, Lars Stout. Number 16, Cam Germain. Number 17, Derek Kohat. Number 18, Germani Benton. Number 19, Harrison Cross. Number 20, Brady Ruffalo. Number 21, Camden Hay. Number 22, Tyler Good. Number 23, Cody Gould. Number 24, Jameer Warfield. Number 25, Hunter Lemieux. Number 27, Jared Bardeen. Number 30, Will Dempsey. Number 35, Kyle Mahar. The coaches for the Armory, Ron Kogan and Jordan Jarvis. Let's hear it one more time for the champions of the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, the Armory. And now time to award the medals to the players from the championship team for the California Collegiate Box Lacrosse League and the National Collegiate Box Series National Championship, the San Diego Royals. Introducing the squad for the San Diego Royals. Number 1, Mason Spunia. Number 3, Griffin Paul. Number 4, Aldrich Vanderheide. Number 5, Caden Dietrich. Number 6, Nate Ryan. Number 8, Winton Bastion. Number 10, Kyle Zansky. Number 11, Jonathan Ford. Number 12, Marcus Yandel. Number 13, Cam Morris. Number 14, Chase Laredo. Number 15, Soren Savard. Number 16, Will Tobias. Number 18, Peyton Rozenka. Number 19, Owen Bennett. Number 20, Reed Rozenka. Number 21, Fernando Garcia. Number 22, Zach Snyder. Number 24, Marquez Wright. Number 26, Oscar Hurt. Number 44, Jake Gubbett. And number 30, Caleb Mackey. The coaching staff for the San Diego Royals, Cam Hurley, Wes Berg, Trey LeClaire, and Skyler Moose Willery. And now at this time, it is a pleasure to introduce commissioners from 2 leagues to help present the MVP Trophy and the NCBS National Championship Trophy. Please welcome to center court the commissioner of the National Collegiate Box Series, Nico Blankenship, and the commissioner of the National Lacrosse League, Nick Kasevich. First, the presentation for the most valuable player of the NCBS National Championship. It goes to, from the San Diego Royals, goalie number 30, Cam Receiving the trophy from Commissioner Nico Blankenship of the NCBS and Commissioner Nick Kasevich from the NLL. And now, the big moment for the NCBS National Championship, the trophy presentation to the 2021 champions from the California